Objection! Welcome back, everybody, to Video Games Awesome Live. We are grilling Mr. Sahwit on the stand. He was absolutely certain that it was 1 p.m. that he had found the victim dead, but the autopsy report said she died between 4 and 5. How's he going to explain this?
Mm-hmm.
I remember now. Would you... it's hard going between their two voices. Would you care to give your testimony again? Here he goes. What's he got to say? The time of discovery.
You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the TV vision. Oh, but was it 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m.
He's reaching.
Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding.
Alright, wait a minute. So what do you guys think is the hole in that part? He heard...
The power was off.
There you go! How the hell did he hear the TV? This guy's a fucking moron. Alright.
I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Right. You know what to do. I've got this one.
That voice has become sexy. I'm not sure it's a good thing.
You see, when I found the body,
Will it hold that? You said heard, not saw.
yeah, heard. I saw the body lying there. I didn't think to look at anything else. Least of all, my watch.
Isn't that a little strange? So you're saying you heard something, but if you were so shocked by the body, you wouldn't hear anything at all.
Objection! The witness did say he actually heard the time.
Should Saw Pain just be Toad?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's ludicrous to suggest he wouldn't hear anything.
I have to agree with the prosecution. Witness, continue your testimony.
There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was at 3 hours off, wasn't it? Oops, I kind of, without. But it was 3 hours, wasn't it? How do you explain the gap? Well, witness, can you explain this? I guess the victim is being watched from a videotape program. Video?
Yes, that would explain why the time was wrong.
True. Right. I think the problem lies someplace else. Alright, so...
That's why I thought it was 1 p.m.
Are you sure the voice that you heard said it was 1 p.m.?
Yes, I can practically hear it now. It was quite clear.
Mr. Boyan has a verified...
My apologies, Your Honor. I too have only just learned that the witness heard the time.
Oh, I'm really sorry. I only remembered it just now.
So he's sweating like crazy now.
Because he's a liar.
We know, because we saw the cinematic at the beginning.
Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding.
See, this is the best part. I could hold it to, like, interrupt this. Well, you just watch it. Not much point in pressing him on that one. That was there. Alright, so if you go through an entire testimony, it goes all the way back to the front again. And which one did we miss there? I think it was this one, wasn't it?
No, we did that one.
Oh. So it must have been the second one? Are you sure it was the television, not a radio?
Well, no, I guess it might have been a radio.
Incidentally, there was no radio on the premises. There was only one large television.
Right. I can't put my finger on it, but something about this seems fishy. Something about hearing the television.
The witness has testified he heard the time.
Alright, so what do we want to press? This is the tricky thing about Phoenix Wright, is there seems to be multiple statements he's made where we could say hold it and present
Yeah.
the, because we do have the evidence for it, right?
Yeah.
We go in here and we find the blackout record, which says that it was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. So, let's see here. We'll go back to the top of his testimony. Should we object to...
There?
It says television in that statement, so
Yeah.
it must be that must be the one to object to. But one of my biggest pet peeves about it, Phoenix Wright, is that you'll know exactly what the answer is,
But you
you'll
gotta
fuck it
figure
up
out
because
this.
you put it in the wrong one,
Yeah.
and it's like, how? What?
Yeah.
Ah. And sometimes it'll be.
That's what you were saying. Sometimes you can do it too soon.
Yeah. And sometimes there's two sentences that sound like that he says that sound the exact same. Like it seems like you could object to either one. But anyways, hopefully we won't run into many of those. And we have a chat room to help us if not. So I think we open this and then we ready? Objection!
You like that?
Yeah. Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. Love that. You couldn't have heard the television or a video!
God, I really okay. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sahwit? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Sahwit, the court would prefer an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been a shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Sahwit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please.
Oh, I get it. Sahwit saw it. That might actually be it, yeah. Hearing the time testimony.
Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment. It was there, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. The defense must cross-examine the witness.
Gladly. All right, another lie somewhere in there. So this one's a little bit tougher.
Where did he see the clock? In the
Well,
apartment?
let's go through this again then. We can always get more clues. He says there was one in the apartment. He didn't hear it, he saw it. That strikes me as very suspicious mistake.
Yes, I can see how you'd be a little doubtful. I'm really sorry. I only just remembered the table clock. A table clock?
There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there?
You didn't go in the apartment.
Table clock. Was there a clock
But I
at the
guess you could have seen it.
This is the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, the murder weapon, the killer must have used it to hit the victim. The murder weapon's not a clock, it's
Nope.
a statue of
Yeah.
the thinker. Hold it! The murder weapon?
Yes, the table clock that was used as a weapon. That's what I said. Did you doze off during the middle of my testimony or something?
He's getting confidence.
Yeah.
Something's fishy here. So they're giving us really obvious clues that that's the one to object to right there.
That must have been what I saw.
Why didn't you tell us this in the first place?
I guess I just slipped my mind. I'm not really sure how it happened to myself.
The witness says he saw the table clock. End of story.
Now, find the contradiction. All right, so it's the second last one, right? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it on the
That one?
to hit the victim. All right, yeah, it's the second last one. Must have used it to hit the victim. All right,
Yeah, there you go.
presenting what is clearly not a clock
Not
at all.
a clock.
There we go. Objection! Objection! Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was the statue. Are you thinking I sound like Lionel Hutz?
I'm not wearing a tie at all.
If that's what you think, you're going to be very surprised. Now, how is this? This is some of the best music. Oh, I love all the music in this game. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock?
What? With your objections and your evidence, just who do you think you are?
Just answer the question, Mr. Sahwit.
Hey, I saw it there, okay?
That's a clock! He's still saying it's a clock.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes, Mr. Payne.
as the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock.
What?
The neck is the switch. You just hit it, and it says the time out loud. And it doesn't look like a clock. I submitted it as a statue. My apologies.
What?
Poor Phoenix. He never knows any, like, the prosecution always strategically doesn't tell him anything.
I see. So, the murder weapon was a
It's a
table clock after all.
After all.
Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problem with this testimony now?
So we can further press on this, but what evidence do we have? Or the thing is, we can press on it and hear what Phoenix has to say. Sometimes he knows more than us. So what have they just presented? What is the?
Well, you have to go and tilt it, right? Like you have to do something to the clock for it to say it out loud, but you didn't have to do it.
Oh, you have to hit.
You have to hit something.
Yeah.
With it. We have a problem with the testimony, no matter what. It's a lie, regardless.
Yeah.
We know that.
So he heard the time when he hit her.
Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock was to hold it in his hand. It's not that he has to hit, but, like, that's the thing. Like, he obviously, I think he probably did hear the time because he used it to hit somebody, but yeah, he would have had to pick it up, and he said he didn't go in the apartment. Clearly, a contradiction.
Indeed.
The witness knew it was a clock because he
Went into the apartment.
knew
the
victim. Tell me, isn't it true that you knew the victim? In fact, you were one of her sugar daddies. Be frank with us, Mr. Sahwit.
Frank? I'm always a Frank.
Your Honor, we have complete records of the victims' relationships. Mr. Frank Sahwit does not appear anywhere.
Oh, really?
Mr. Wright, the huh is your best response you can muster up. Try to refrain from off-the-cuff accusations in the future.
Yes, Your Honor. Let me think this over. So in the future cases, the
You won't
game
get to
won't
do
be as
over?
forgiving. It will like take away. Did you see those exclamation
Yeah.
marks?
Yeah.
Those will be taken away every wrong time. And you'll
Okay.
have to
What happens
start
when you're
over.
out of them?
You have to
Just
start
have to start
over
over?
from not the beginning of the trial, but a few back. So he obviously went into the apartment. You're lying! You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
prove it! Prove I was in there!
I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. You guys were on it. That was the sound you heard. Case closed.
I rest my case.
Order in the court! Intriguing! Please continue, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Here is a artist depiction. Mr. Sahwit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time.
Objection! What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture.
Baseless. Just look at the witness's face.
Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? On the day, I never. Look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, I saw. Shut up, I hate you!
That moment was when all even bits of doubt I might have had about the game when I was playing the first time I was playing, I went out the window. I was like, I am playing this all the way through. That was amazing. I laughed out loud. I think you were sleeping.
I was sleeping.
It was in Toronto.
Yeah.
Like this is like we're talking like 6 years ago. But I just friggin' love that moment. The comedic timing of the and he just doesn't even move. He's just like, I hate you. The best part too is that the judge just allows this behavior. Anything that
Wild and
degrades,
unruly behavior.
Yeah, anything that degrades Phoenix in any way is allowed in the courtroom. Anyways, we're gonna take a break and we'll come back to see just how far this guy will go to save his skin. Will he really testify again?